Before a boiler is passed out, ready to be lowered onto the main frame of the locomotive, it's subjected to both hydraulic and steam pressure tests, so that any faults or weaknesses can be seen. Ted Wilson is often called in to supervise these tests, especially if the design is a new one. Ted Wilson has known and lived with these locomotives since they first took shape on the drawing board. He has supervised every part of their manufacture, from the smallest screw to the largest single casting. To him, the locomotive is a living thing, with his own skill reflected in its efficiency. He carries all the correct measurements with him, and in a case like this, when a boiler is finally fitted to the frame of the locomotive, he can quickly check that the positioning is correct and that assembly can go ahead. Although we've only seen Ted Wilson at work on these particular engines, there are, of course, a variety of other types of locomotives being made in the works, and he's just as responsible for seeing that these too maintain the very high standards set by the company. From this works too have gone engines to India, Burma, Africa, indeed to every part of the world. In the wheel shop, every wheel, large and small, must be balanced and tested to perfection. They must be guaranteed a true running life over millions of miles, perhaps in some distant tropical country. These men are trained to work to the highest possible standards of accuracy, and Ted Wilson's check is usually only a confirmation of their original findings. This Indian student has been sent here for 3 years by his father in order to learn and take home with him some of the knowledge of locomotive construction, which has been built up in this factory over the years. In the local technical college, Ted is much in demand for lectures. These he gives willingly and freely. After many years of study, he is himself a fully qualified member of the Institution of Mechanical Engineers. But he knows that learning can never be complete, and he frequently spends evenings at the college using the library of textbooks or testing some theory with modern scientific aids. The locomotive manufacturers themselves pay for their apprentices to attend this college. They know that good training will result in reliable engineers in the future. But now, one of the new steam locomotives ordered by the Persian government is ready for testing, and Ted Wilson is going to take his place on the footplate. His ears can often detect faults unaided by any mechanical means. By the feel of his hand on the throttle, he can tell if the engine is responding correctly. For over 120 years, this factory has been turning out locomotives. And for the last 6 years, Ted Wilson has tested every one that has gone out, some 600 in all, and the same pride and careful attention has gone into each one of them. He is just one of many engineers at work in Britain. Engineers with a lifetime of knowledge, whose skill goes out to the corners of the world in the products of their experience. We have seen but one day in the life of Ted Wilson. Every day brings its new problems, both technical and human. Every day he's passing on his knowledge to others, no matter from which country they come. For the language of engineers is becoming universal.